Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Elvia Aguirre, artista aquí en la comunidad de San Fernando Valley. Hi, my name is Elvia Aguirre, artist here in the San Fernando Valley. Welcome to our workshop. Bienvenidos al taller de Papel Picado. Les voy a enseñar aquí. Welcome. So we're going to do a workshop with Papel Picado, and we're also going to do a quick tutorial on how to do a crown. So this is how it's gonna look. So we're gonna go over the materials that we're gonna use for this. So we're gonna need some pipe cleaners. We're gonna need the tissue paper. Vamos a ocupar los pipe cleaners, el papel de China, le dicen, o papel, what is the name? Tissue paper. Vamos a ocupar tijeras, scissors, glue, pegamento, and then we got here a little bit of cotton thread or some rope. Entonces, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to cut the paper first. So I'm going to put this to the side, and then when we need it, we'll take it back outside. Other things that we're going to need, I'll tell you as we go. Like, we're going to need either a pen or a pencil and a stapler, and that'll be for the flower crowns when we start doing the flowers. So I got some cut out right here ready so you can see them. But I'm going to show you how to cut it off if you want to size it, or if you just want to like kind of eyeball the paper. So it can be like a 10 by 10 if you want a precise size, or it can be a rectangle, and it can be as long as you want, but you don't want it super long. So this piece of paper right here is a little bit too long. So you can use your ruler for that, and if you want a rectangle, you can use a 12 by, let's see how long this piece of paper is right here. It's about less than 10, maybe, like, but you can do it 10 by 10 too, or 12 by 10. So I'm going to use whatever it's already here set. If you don't want to use a ruler, you don't have to. It's already folded like this when it comes into your sheet. So let's say you got your whole packet, right? It already comes like this. You can fold this into half. Just like that. And then you can use this line to go ahead and cut that size that you want for your papel picado. And then you can open it up to have a better line and cutting. And so we're going to do 4 pieces. So right now, at this moment, you can select the colors that you want. Right now I'm just showing you how to cut, but you want to go ahead and select the colors that you want to use. The colors that I'm going to use are going to be yellow right here, and I'll probably be using this orange and maybe some of this purple. So I'm going to use the size that I already have here. Just make it a little bit more straight here. So I'm just going to put the ruler right here. And just make the line right there so then I can cut it. So you do want to be careful because this tissue paper, it's very delicate and it'll rip right away if you don't take care of it. And a fewer pieces at a time would be better. just because sometimes it might get stuck, and I'll show you what happens when it gets stuck in a bit. So, lo que acabo de decir ahorita es que estamos haciéndolo de 12 por 10, o puede ser al corte de cómo está doblado cuando lo saca del paquete. Personalmente a veces yo nomás lo uso como ya viene doblado, entonces uso el doblez que ya tiene para poder hacer el papel picado, porque es una medida buena para hacer el diseño. Now that you do have it like this, you're going to open it up. So lo vamos a abrir. And we're going to use this line, and we're going to cut that line. And that's going to give you 2 sheets. For me, I have probably three sheets, so it's going to be like 3 sheets on each side. Entonces ya cuando está doblado lo vamos a abrir. Y lo vamos a cortar aquí en la mitad. Con la línea que ya existe. And that's just gonna have that's where you're gonna do your template for the papel picado. So it should look something like this. And so I'm gonna do the same thing with this yellow. So vamos a repetir el mismo paso. And again, I'm using these 2 colors. You all can use whichever colors you want. Traditionally, for Dia de los Muertos, they'll use more of the blue or the orange. But if it's for you, for your space, for your altar, this is your first time doing it, go ahead and choose whichever color you want. Puedes escoger el color que ustedes quieran. Yo estoy escogiendo estos 2 colores, pero pueden escoger cualquier color que tenga su paquete. Y tradicionalmente, si es para Día de los Muertos, pues se usa el anaranjado o se usa el azul. El papel picado se usa todo el año para diferentes celebraciones, o dependiendo qué es lo que estás celebrando o por qué lo estás colgando. Entonces, así es como hicieran el papel picado. So I'm going to go ahead and use these 2, and we're going to grab 2 of each, right? So they're very thin. You can even do it with 3, but I'm going to show you how to do one design in 2 sheets of each color. So vamos a agarrar 2 papeles de cada color que ya tenemos cortados, de 12 por 10, o exactamente como estaba doblado cuando lo sacó del paquete. And I'm going to start with the yellow one. So you're going to start with 2 sheets. If you wanted to do more, but if this is your first time, you might want to start with 2 sheets, because it gets kind of difficult when you start cutting if you add a little bit more. Once you become more of an expert and you have practice on this, then you could do even 4 pieces at a time. So we're going to go ahead and start with your paper like this. Vamos a empezar con el papel así. Y lo vamos a doblar así. So you're just going to fold it like this. And I really didn't size this. I mean, it's kind of eyeballing it that it has enough space for my design, and then it has enough space so I can put the thread or the rope, you know. So no le puse, no lo marqué o lo medí, nomás lo doblé, y a la vista como está, así es como debe de estar. No hay mucha matemática en doblar esta parte, ¿verdad? Then you're going to go ahead and fold it to the center, so in half. So vamos a doblar a la mitad. And so what I just did right now, lo que acabo de hacer, our paper was like this. I turned it over, lo volteé y lo doblé a la mitad. La próxima parte, what we're going to do is going to create a design right here. So with your pencil, con su lápiz, vamos a hacer un diseño muy rápido aquí. Vamos a empezar. I'm going to go ahead and do it with the pen so maybe it's more visible for you all, but y'all can do it with your pencil that is lighter. And then just do some designs right here, like waves. So voy a hacer como unas curvas aquí abajo. Now, if this is too difficult for you, you don't have to do this step. You can wait and you can start when I do the next step. So si esto es muy difícil para usted, no tienen que hacer esta parte. Nomás les estoy enseñando cómo le pueden decorar el papel picado de abajo si no lo quieren derecho. So it's okay if you leave it straight, like if it doesn't have a design like the one that I'm doing right now. And then after you do the design, you're gonna cut it. So después de que haga el diseño ese, lo van a cortar. And you want to cut that your pencil mark is not there, and you kind of like want to disappear that line. So queremos cortar lo que dibujamos, no quieren que se mire ahí. So si todavía se mira, you can todavía le puedes cortar más. So there we go. We have it like this, and now we have the wave. So ahora ya tienen un poco más de diseño, el papel picado. So the next thing you're going to do is you had it like this. El próximo paso, lo que vamos a hacer, lo teníamos así, lo vamos a voltear así. So we're going to turn it over like that. So it's going to be facing you this way. And you're going to pick up this part and meet it up to this line. Y vamos a levantarlo y doblarlo, no a la mitad, pero hasta donde está este doblez de aquí arriba. Y de ahí lo vamos a voltear. So we're going to turn it. After you fold it up like this, you're going to go ahead and turn it. And then you're going to pick it up like if you were going to like fold a paper plane. So lo van a doblar como si hubieran hecho, están haciendo un avión de papel. Y lo van a doblar una vez más, so we're going to fold it one more time. So it's going to look like that. So I'll repeat that step so you all can see how that is. So our paper is folded. So this is facing down. And then you're going to fold it up once, like this. And then one more time, like this. So once you have it like this, we're going to do our designs, but we're going to be careful with not cutting certain things. So cuando ya lo tengamos así, no le vamos a cortar acá. So vamos a empezar con la orilla. So we're going to start with the end, the tip right here. And we're going to do like a V cut. So what I mean when I say V is that once you cut it out, it's gonna have like a V shape there. So what I'm doing is cutting it a little bit on this side, and then we're gonna cut a little bit on this other side. You do want to be careful, you don't want to cut your fingers. My finger's right there, but I'm gonna move it out of the way, so I just do this cut. And so it should have this like V look right here, right there. I could also draw it for you on the paper, so it's kind of look like this. So el papel se va a mirar así de abajo, ¿verdad? Then después vamos a hacer another shape, and you're gonna put it in this way, and then you're gonna turn your paper like this. So the shape on the paper is like this. It's kind of like if it was a half a heart. And so you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And you want to hold it right here. So lo quieren detener de aquí, o you can hold it a little bit closer. Lo podemos detener un poco más cerca y hacer y cortarle. So I'm turning as I'm going in there. Like that. And so now you have this like skinny little like space. So you do want to be careful with it, because if you force the cut, you might rip it. So if you're not comfortable with these shapes, you can also do squares. So I'll show you how to do squares on this top piece. Or just little cuts like triangles. I'll show you how to do the triangle first. So you can see it, and I'll draw it here. So pueden hacer triángulos si no están cómodos con hacer esto de aquí, así. Pueden hacer triángulos, como lo que hice aquí, o pueden hacer cuadros. So I'll show you how to do the square. One line here, una línea aquí, y luego van a voltear el papel para arriba, las tijeras. And then if the little corner is stuck, you need to like twist it. So si está atorado la esquina, tienen que darle vuelta hasta que se desate. Así. Another design, otro diseño, un poco más fácil. Así. So ahí tenemos nuestros diseños y ya lo vamos a abrir. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. Alright. And we're not going to open it up all the way. No lo vamos a abrir todo entero. So we're just going to open it up to this point, and then now we're going to, so your paper should be facing you like this with your designs. And now what you're going to do is fold it over here. Like that. And then you can do designs from here to here. So you don't want to go on your designs and do designs over this. You don't want to cut that. You want to do your designs on this area. So what you can also do is you can twist, you can turn it one more time and do your designs like right here, or you can just do it right here. If you're not comfortable with just cutting yet, just like that, then you can create the designs that you want. Say I wanted something like this here. then I drew it there. So, si no están cómodos con cortar así, pueden diseñarlo primero y luego cortar. So when we're doing this, like, you gotta be, you have to have patience, and it's really all about, like, being careful and taking your time cutting, because there's, like, no going back once you have it done. It's like, you kind of want to avoid that. But happy, like, accidents or shapes are good. Like, let's say you just wanted all squares or some sort of, like, triangle, and those are more, like, simple to do, and you can try those. It's also about being more comfortable with the scissors that you have and how to design without actually sketching onto your paper, right? So, cuando lo están haciendo, tenemos que tener cuidado de cómo lo estamos cortando y no apresurarlos, porque puede pasar un accidente. Y si pasa un accidente, pues se rompe el papel y ya no va a servir, pues tenemos que hacer otro. Aquí, so right here, I'm going to do something similar to over here, just cut the corner. And I'll show you. So this, when you cut the corner here, and then you make a triangle inside there, it's gonna give you kind of like a star design. So that's kind of like fun if you wanna try that. So there we have our designs. And if you wanted to do another design in the center, you could right here. You would just have to be careful not to rip the paper. So si les gustaría hacer otro diseño acá en el centro, pueden, pero otra vez tiene que ser con cuidado. So then now is the time when you open it up. It's gonna look like this. So I'm gonna put it against the purple so you can see it. See the designs. So that's how it looks. So we're gonna try that again with another two pieces of paper. Do another set, another try, and then we're gonna put them together on the yarn or the rope, whichever you have. So así es como se mira cuando está terminado. Vamos a hacer otros dos y luego les voy a enseñar cómo se pega al pedazo de hilo. So the same process. Just go ahead and grab our paper. Vamos a agarrar el papel. Vamos a doblarle aquí. And then we're going to fold to the center in half. So what we did is fold here at the top, le doblamos aquí arriba, lo doblamos a la mitad. We also have to remember that this is just one way of like doing papel picado. This is the way that I was taught and I learned how to do it, but there's many other different ways. So this is not just like the way it's, you can do it in different ways, but this is the way that I learned. So now we have it like this, and we're gonna do the designs on the bottom. So we're not gonna design this part, we're just gonna do it on the bottom, and we're gonna do freehand. So esta vez no vamos a dibujarle acá abajo, vamos a diseñarlo con las tijeras. So you just kind of want to freehand those waves, but you do Again, you want to be careful when you're doing it. And so that's good. I'm going to fold it up. And once you have it up, like this, fold. Ya que lo tenemos así, lo vamos a voltear. And so what you want to remember is when you're doing your folds, you never do your folds on this side because you don't want to cut this side. Solo queremos acordar que nunca vamos a doblar para este lado porque el lado que está abierto no quieren cortarlo. So even if I fold it this way, si lo doblaría para acá, de todos modos tiene que ir para el lado cerrado. So it has to go to the place that is closed. So once it's folded like this, we're gonna go ahead and fold it like it was a plane. So you're gonna have it like this, up, turn it over, fold it once, like this, and then you fold it one more time. Once you have it like this time I'm just gonna go ahead and do a simple cut that is more round. So voy a hacer una cortada un poco más redonda. And then I'm gonna do a small cut. Voy a hacer una cortada muy pequeña en medio. So I'm gonna do a cut in the center. And you're not really gonna see much of it right here, like of the design, until you open it. But it's right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and do kind of like a teardrop. Again, we did that design. It's kind of like the half heart design. Voy a hacer como si fuera una gota. Y adentro de la gota le vamos a poner un triángulo. So we're gonna put a triangle inside of there. And so it looks like that. Si me pueden mirar, el diseño lo voy a poner aquí. It's kind of like that, así. And then I'm gonna do another one over here. Voy a hacer otro acá. So those are the designs there. Ya tenemos esos diseños. Aquí puede caber otro, so we can have space for one more right here. Then we're gonna open it. Lo vamos a destapar, abrir. And we're gonna do a design here, redondo. So we're gonna do it more like a curved design that follows the patterns that are right there already. Then again, you want to pull it out of there carefully without ripping the paper. So you might want to use the scissors for that part. Like that. And then you're gonna design this part over here. So we're folding it. I'm just gonna do some shapes there. And then again, any shape that you know that you're comfortable cutting, that's what's gonna work for your papel picado. Cualquier forma que ustedes estén cómodas con las tijeras en cortar, ese es el diseño que le va a ayudar a hacer este papel picado. So once you open it, ya está eso. And I'll grab a piece of yellow paper so you can see how the design looks. So this is how it looks. And then you're gonna pull it apart. Y lo vamos a abrir y separar los dos. So then you have two. Tenemos dos. So now we have 4 pieces of papers, the papel picado. These are 2 right here, and this is your other 2. So next we're gonna go ahead and start putting them together. And we'll do 2 at a time. So the format that you want is, you wanna kind of switch your colors, right? So I'm gonna do the purple, the yellow, purple, and then yellow. That's how you want it. And so you want to put everything else that's in front of you away, just so you can go ahead and do the other process. So I have a piece of cardboard. That's what I'm going to use to glue. We're going to start with our first piece right here. And then any color will work. I'm gonna go ahead and use a different color. Let me see what I have here. I'll go ahead and use this yellow one. And so mine's tinier. You can use something thicker. As long as it can hold on, like you can hold your paper, then that'd be fine. And then I got this clear glue, but the regular Elmer's is fine. And so what you want to do is zigzag on your paper. Just go ahead and do that. And so you want to leave enough so you can hang it wherever you're going to hang it. And then you put it in the center where the line is, where you folded it. So acabo de explicar que puedes usar cualquier tipo de hilo. No tiene que ser el más caro, puede ser el más indispensable, el más barato. Y estoy usando este glue Elmer's claro, pero pues se puede usar el regular, el blanco. De todos modos se seca y se hace, se desvanece el color y ya no es blanco. So that's our first one right here. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna move it over to the side, and then your next one, the next one's gonna be this way. So you notice it's not gonna be the same way. You want it the other way, because when it goes up, wherever you're gonna put it, you don't want it to all fly the same way. You want them to kind of do this thing. So el próximo papel va a ser volteado para el otro lado. para cuando para que cuando lo pongan a donde lo van a colgar, no vuele el papel todo para el mismo lado. And then right here, you kind of just want to give it maybe like a finger of distance. Enough space so it can have space to fly. You don't want them too close together. So no los queremos muy cercas. And then lo doblan. And so then once we're done with all this, you do need to kind of hang it up somewhere so it dries, because if you put them all stacked up together at the same time, they're going to dry together and then you won't be able to hang them up. So cuando terminen de hacer este proceso, quieren darles su espacio y colgarlos para que se sequen, porque no quieren doblarlos luego porque después no se van a despegar y van a estar juntos. So again, this one's facing the other way. Otra vez este papel está en el lado oponente para que pueda colgarse mejor cuando esté terminado. Y otra vez el espacio que le da es como un dedo o puede ser como 3, like 3 inches. That's fine if you want to use a ruler. And then on the end over here, you kind of want to give it some space too, so when you hang it up, and so there we have the 4 of them, and I'm going to put them to the side, probably in the ground so they can dry up, but I would recommend that you guys will hang it up so it can dry up nicely, or if you have space in the house, in the floor, then you can do that too. I'm just going to kind of put them on the side over here. And we're going to go ahead and start our flower crowns. But while we're doing that, I could tell you a little bit about the Papel Picado. It is a tradition of our ancestors, like the Aztec or the Mexica, to use Papel Picado in our ceremonies to invite our past loved ones for the Dia de los Muertos. And it's always put up since before, like, since our ancestors long time ago started these traditions with tree bark, right? With chisels and all that stuff. So it's not just like an arts and crafts things, you know, it's also like something you can use for your altars, and it's the window in the space where like you invite your loved ones to come and visit, you know. And it can be used for any occasion. It now is used for in Mexico at least, is used for weddings, for quinceañeras, for Dia de los Muertos, anything you can think of. In Mexico, in Xochimilco or in Puebla, this is a job for people, and they do this on a daily basis for different events and stuff. So that's just a little bit of the history of that. There's more more to it, but it's kind of like a little bit of like where Papel Picado comes from. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our flower crowns. So we're gonna need some squares, and I already have these prepared, but whatever you already have right here, I can show you with these pieces of papers right here. So again, let's use whatever is already there and cut. So this is our long piece of tissue paper. Este es nuestro papel, ¿verdad? Y vamos a usar las líneas que ya están hechas cuando lo compramos. And we're going to go ahead and cut that. And if you want to, you can use your ruler. Si quieren, podemos usar la regla. So it can help you cut your pieces of paper. Podemos usar la regla, le hacemos la línea y luego podemos cortar el papel. De ahí lo vamos a abrir. So from there we can open it, because it's still attached from the top, porque todavía está pegado de arriba. Lo abrimos y lo cortamos. So, lo que estaba comentando del papel picado es un poco de la historia del papel picado, que es una tradición ancestral de nuestros ancestros aztecas. Y lo usaban para invitar a sus queridos, para el Día de los Muertos, pero a través del tiempo también se convirtió el papel picado también en forma de celebración para diferentes celebraciones, quinceañeras, fiestas de niños, bodas, incluso creo que he escuchado que hasta para divorcios, pero eso es parte de la celebración mexicana también, ¿verdad? Del ancestral. Entonces, pueden tener papel picado colgado todo el año y diferentes colores significan diferentes cosas. Y entonces eso es un poco de la historia y hay mucho más, si nos metemos en eso, hay mucho más de la historia del papel picado, pero eso es un poquito para que empecemos a entender un poquito que no nomás es algo artístico y divertido para los niños, ¿verdad? Esto es importante porque es también parte de la cultura, de nuestra cultura. Okay, so we have that. You're gonna want to get the colors that you want, right? So I have these ones that I'm going to use for the bottom of the flowers. So if you can see the flowers right here, I used them for the bottom. Now we're going to cut a couple pieces of paper of your favorite colors. You're going to grab your favorite colors right here. I have the pieces of papers that I want, but I'm going to show you how to do this. And then I'll show you how to do two different flowers. So right here I have 10 pieces of square paper. So you see it's not super straight. It's just like I grabbed what I had for my scraps. And then we're going to use this piece of paper cup, right? A plastic cup. It doesn't have to be these things. This is what I have, so this is what I'm using. It could be a mason jar, or it can be a glass cup, or anything you have round, so you can go ahead and trace it, and then that's going to give you your perfect circle. So yes, you don't have to use these if you don't want to. If you don't like plastic or styrofoam, that's absolutely fine. You can use anything that's circle. So, para la primera flor vamos a usar 10 pedazos de papel cuadrados. Si quisieran saber la medida, sería como de 5 por 5. You can do 5 by 5. Once you have it like this, and I'm going to show you with this over here that I have ready. You put it on the top. I'm going gonna do it right here. I'm gonna cut this out quickly. So if you have this piece of long paper right here, it'd be probably like 11 length by 6. You're gonna fold it in half. And then you're gonna cut that. Vamos a doblar a la mitad y vamos a cortarlo, ¿verdad? Un pedazo cuadrado. Then you're gonna grab your cup. And then you can fold it, or you can do it like this, right? We're gonna go ahead and cut it. Vamos a cortar ese círculo. And after we cut it, we're gonna go ahead and staple that. And so when you're cutting it, you want to hold it tight because you don't want your paper to just start going everywhere. Cuando lo estemos cortando, deténganlo para que no se mueva el papel y se vaya a todos los lados. Y así ya lo tenemos el círculo, which is what we have here. Vamos a agarrar la engrapadora, the stapler, and then staple it in the center. Right? So I'm going to let you guys do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out over here. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 of these first. And again, it's 10 pieces, son 10 piezas cuadradas, square pieces for this one. And if you want to be a little extra, the last 2 out of the 10 are green, because I kind of want this design on the bottom, right? So if you want that at the bottom of your flower right here, your last 2 pieces out of the 10 are going to be green. So son 10 piezas en total, pero si quieren lo verde de atrás, las últimas 2 piezas de 10 piezas van a ser verdes. So now that we have it like that, I'm going to fold it in half. Ya que lo tenemos así y engrapado, cortado, lo vamos a poner a la mitad y vamos a agarrar los pipe cleaners. Tenemos aquí. So we're going to have our pipe cleaners, and we're going to go ahead and staple that onto that flower. So make sure the stapler staples the pipe cleaner. So vamos a asegurarlos que engrapen esto aquí, and then you're going to go ahead and grab it and just kind of fold that in together. But you want to be careful not to rip your paper again. So we have that, right? So you're going to do the same thing for both. I already got 2 right here, right? But I'll show you how to do this one right here one more time. So again, lo vamos a doblar. Vamos a quitar esto de aquí. I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And again, I'm using yellow because this is what I have, yellow. But if you want to use green, like I use green over here, I use 3 different colors, orange, green, and yellow. You can go ahead and do that. If you are more picky about like using one particular color and you have a vision, then go ahead, like do that, right? Because again, this is gonna be for you, so you want to do your favorite colors with whatever the vision is for you for your flower crown. And I'm going to go ahead and staple it one more time so it doesn't move. So if you feel like it's moving too much, then go ahead and do it. But you want to be careful with the paper. So ya lo tengo engrapado aquí. Ya está listo esto. So we're going to go ahead and start opening up our flowers. So you're going to grab the pieces and you just kind of like going to put it all together like this. So vamos a agarrar el papel y vamos a empezar a hacerlo como si fuera una bolita. It's like crunching it in. And so you can see like what's going on already, like the flower is shaking. Ya estamos viendo que la flor está agarrando su forma. And if you want to leave the last one a little bit more outward, then you can do that. Si quieren dejar la última un poco más para afuera, se puede hacer eso. Once you have it like this, we're going to go ahead and fix it. So, ya que lo tenemos así, lo vamos a acomodar. ¿Verdad? Yes, tenemos una flor. So that's one. And so, esto se está moviendo, so lo que voy a hacer es engraparlo. So, it's moving for me, so I'm going to go ahead and staple it one more time there. And that should work. Just grab the flower petals that we would call. And move it in together, right? You kind of want to be careful again. You're working with tissue paper, so you don't want to rip it. So I am doing it a little bit quick, but I am being mindful that this is tissue paper and my rib. So kind of like when you're doing it, don't like be so hard on it. And so I'm doing this one smaller, but I mean, if you want to explore and make them bigger, then you could. Just depends if you want bigger flowers for your crown or smaller ones. So that's two, and I'm going to show you how to do the other one. Which we have some paper here prepared. You're going to use I'm going to use 7 for this piece. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of the orange, this orange that I have here. Cut it this way, just like that. Voy a cortar aquí. And then, if you don't want to do this part, si no quieren abrirlo ahí, lo que pueden hacer es cortar la orilla And that will open up your paper. Y eso va a abrir el papel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y dos verdes, so 2 green ones. So I'm using 2 green ones, and then the rest of it. So it should be a total of 7. So 1 more of these. And then again, I'm using 2 green ones at the end. And we're gonna line them up. And we're gonna do an accordion type of fold. But before I do that accordion type of fold, I'm gonna go ahead and even these up. So voy a cortarle acá la orilla para que se pareja todo. Y vamos a hacer un doblez como el acordeón. So you fold it in, and just bring it out this way. And so we're going to use the pipe cleaners for that. And you're just going to fold them in here like that. So I'll put that one to the side, and we're going to do one more of that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me use this screen here. This here. Entonces voy a cortar otro pedazo de aquí. Así. Then again, your cuts don't have to be like super like specific to like they all don't have to be the same size. As long as it's just like the same shape, it works. Because at the end you're doing these flowers and you're not gonna really see like, oh, it was a 10 by 10 and this was a 7 by 7. You know, it's more about using a square or a rectangle to do these flowers, right? So I'm gonna take 2 pieces from here. 7 pieces will help you do this flower. And then again the accordion. So el acordeón, el doblez del acordeón. See? So if you open it, this is how it looks. You go ahead and grab another pipe cleaner. So cuando se abre se va a mirar así. El doblez trabaja para ayudarte a hacer la flor. So now that we have that ready, vamos a cortarle aquí. We're going to go ahead and cut it when we have it ready. And it's going to be like this. It can have both ways. So you can have a sharp way, and we'll do one of each so you can see. Or a more round way. So this one is more round. And then just be careful when you're cutting that you're holding the scissors and that your hands are not like in front of the scissors there. So those are 2 ways. And so now what we're going to do is open it up. Right, so push this down this way. We're going to open it up like this from one side. And you just start pulling that. each piece of paper. So if it's 7 pieces of paper, you're folding it, you're taking it out one at a time. So voy a jalar el papel uno a la vez. We're gonna open the other side, vamos a abrir el otro lado, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same process. Y vamos a hacer el mismo proceso en el otro lado. Con cuidado. And so if you see that I use the 2 greens, it kind of gives it a little contrast of like the light green and the dark green. So usé los 2 colores para que le diera contraste a la flor. Los 2 verdes, el bajo y el oscuro. So ahí ya tenemos esta flor y vamos a hacer esta flor. So es importante de que miremos cuando le ponemos esto, que eso esté para abajo, porque la flor se va a abrir para acá y esto tiene que quedar abajo. So it's important that when we're doing our flowers that the pipe cleaner is facing down, because the orange is supposed to be, your color is supposed to be facing up, and the green is supposed to be facing down. And then when you open it up like this, it's going to help you pull each sheet of paper. So ya tenemos esa, there we have that one. You open this one up too, so the paper can come out easily. we have our flower. So with these four, I'm just going to show you how to do a quick assemble, like the beginning of this flower crown. You're going to have 2 pipe cleaners. I'm just going to attach them right here. Right. So this is just 4 flowers that you did, but you usually, like for something like this, you're gonna use about 7 flowers, and if you want a full, like, crown, it's gonna be probably like, let's say 10. And again, it can be bigger flowers. Those ones are tinier. Tinier flowers also take more time to open up. They're more delicate. They're more tight. If they're a little bit bigger, then it's easier to open them up. But again, it's what you want. The type of flower crown that you want. And you're just gonna go ahead and size this to your head right now. So I'm just gonna show you. You just put it in your head, right? Like here. And then you just kind of like fold it in the back, like this, right? And that's gonna hook up later on once you're done with assembling your flowers. But now I'm gonna show you how to put it together. So I'm just using it, putting it on top here. I'm just twisting the pipe cleaners together. The ones that we put on the flowers. Right? And you want to fold it all together. Right? Also because you don't want to hurt yourself with any of that. Getting it all together like this. That's one. And so I'm going to give them space. So you can see right here how much space I'm giving it. So I can put the next one in. And you can see it from here, from the back. So now that I have that space, then I can see where I want my next one. Maybe I want it right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it in right here. Do the same thing, attach it. And then you don't want any of this pointy stuff out, because you might poke your hand. So, cuando lo estén haciendo, traten de enredarlo todo porque no se quieren picar con los puntos de este material. So it has that one there. And I can put the next one in between these 2 big ones. So these 2 are not together. So voy a poner esta aquí en medio de estas 2 grandes para que no esté junto. So, los 2 grandes. Y se mira mejor así. So then again, le vamos a dar vuelta hasta que llegue hasta el fin. I'm just gonna go ahead and twist it till it gets to the end. And so there it is. Then you want to fix it up because you want to see how you're going to wear it, right? So maybe you can see how it goes over here. So it goes like this, right? Let me fix it. That's in the center. So this was more like a, just goes up here, right? So it's gonna be wrapped, but let me fix the ends now together. And right now we're just adjusting it, but it would go up like this, right? So this is with 4 flowers. This is with 8 flowers, and it's different sizes. And then if you wanted to fill this one up with more, then you can go ahead and do that, or you can wrap it up with a different color around here, right? So now I already sized it up, and what I'm gonna do is just finish so it doesn't hurt like when I put it on. Another good idea is maybe with the black, fill it up with all the pipe cleaner in black, and it will like blend with your hair. Right, and then you go ahead and put it on, just like that, or maybe you want to fix it up the other way, if you like it like that. So thank you for being here for the workshop, for the Papel Picado workshop, and for the making the flower crowns. We're gonna go ahead and see how the papel did. It looks like it's dried already. It needs a little more time, but it's already dry. Thank you for being here tonight, attending the workshop for the Papel Picado and the flower crowns. If you would like to share with us your artwork about the Papel Picado or the crowns, feel free to share it with us at Tia Chuchas, or at my Instagram at Aguirre's Art, or the Instagram for Tia Chuchas. And I'll see you guys next time for the Dia de los Muertos face painting. And you know, you already got your crown, so come through to learn how to paint your face for Dia de los Muertos. Thank you and have a good night.